The anchor of the Burrstone Road, French Road area is Utica College. But long before it graced this intersection, it was located near Plant and State Streets in Utica. Our own Mario Cardarelli takes us back 50 years.
Well, this was the Utica College of my day, and we're standing in front of Plymouth Church, which provided some of the first classrooms for Utica College. And I remember going in this door here, turning left and going upstairs for classrooms. However, the main square of Utica College was right down the street here at the corner of Plant and Hartreed. It wasn't really a specious school. It began in 1946, a division of Syracuse University, and it was attuned primarily to service GI Bill people who had tuition assistance under the GI Bill. And they would come to the college, and it was right in their hometown. But the school attracted more than just veterans. It attracted me from Proctor High School, many people from within the county, outside of the county, in the state, and outside of the state. And it became really a booming school. If you ask me what Utica College meant to me, it meant really a great deal. This year I celebrate 50 years from my graduation, and also 50 years of marriage with a girl that I met right here on this campus 50 years ago. You really can't ask much more than that from a school of higher learning.
Malio writes fondly about his Utica College days in his book, Utica on Parade. Utica College's success and growth in the 1940s and 50s led to the college's expansion and to its modern-day campus on the corner of French and Burrstone roads.
They had a dream, and that dream was to grow a independent college or small university in the Utica area, to serve Utica and the Mohawk Valley. And their dream was for a real campus someday. I mean, they appreciated what they had. The students were there, they didn't care, they're out of the war, they're making lives for themselves, but everyone was dreaming about the future and the possibilities. That future happened in 1959. They broke ground on a farm field for a psychiatric hospital about 1.5 miles or 2 miles away from Oneida Square. That farm field, and it was nothing but farmland, is now Utica College today. That was their dream. Our pioneers, the original faculty and the students were dreaming of a campus. And here we are today.
I taught here at Utica College for many, many years, and I walked through Strable Student Center hundreds of times, and probably over this equally as many times. If you come here, take a look down, because right here in the floor there is a Burrstone.
Besides continuing education, there are many reasons for the community to visit Utica College. There are theatrical and musical performances, sporting events, film presentations, and art exhibits. We visit the Edith Langley Barrett Fine Art Gallery to find out more about events open to the public.
We do everything from classic comedies, we do modern dramas. We also have a film series that runs both semesters, and this varies. We do there's American films, there's films from all over the world. Those also are everything from modern to classic. There are 6 different exhibits a year in the gallery, one of which is the Utica City Schools exhibit, which is very widely attended, which we are very excited about. Also, our student activities brings in everything from poets to comics to various musical groups, and a lot of these activities are free. So if someone's looking for something to do on the weekend, during the week, any of those things, all they need to do is visit our website and see all the things that are available to them at just about any time. A lot of these things are overlapping, so depending on your interests, there are a lot of different things we have available to you.
Actually, the lunch hour series involves both music and poetry readings and such. So every semester on Wednesdays at 12:30, it's usually a 45-minute to an hour program. We bring in either musicians or groups from the area, and then on the readers and poets, 4 of those came this fall. There'll be 4 more in the spring. Otherwise, most of it's musical groups or that kind of activity. But we have a wide range. Actually, in the spring, we're going to have one of the high school choirs, Proctor Choir, here during the art show, which fits in with the Utica City Art Show. And we also are bringing in a Renaissance group. We're bringing in a very interesting pianist who's going to be speaking to several of the classes about his experiences and such. We've got an Irish dance group, which is mostly going to do music, not dance this time, but we try to get a range of groups coming in.
To find out more about Utica College and all the exciting things to see and do, visit our website, MohawkValleyLiving.com. A local tradition and staple on French Road is Chanatry's Supermarket. This popular family-owned grocery store has remained successful in the competitive marketplace by providing their customers with old-fashioned personal service.
Back in the 1940s, I can remember the fellows who worked here stacking things up to that triangle, and they would actually stack bottles on top of bottles. It must have been quite an art form to do it. Now they're in the cardboard boxes. It's probably some type of liability question. They have to be careful. And if you come here now, though, it still goes up some, I'd say, 12 feet high. This time of year, everybody's buying their evaporated milk for their pumpkin pies. But I remember the evaporated milk for a totally different reason. Back in the 1940s, I can still picture my grandmother sitting at the kitchen table on Seymour Ave, poking a hole in the top of one of these cans, and then using it as cream in her coffee. Nowadays, you get the cream in those little plastic things, but not back then. It was in cans just like this.
The business was started in 1912 by my Uncle Ray, my dad Michael, and another uncle, Rocky. They immigrated from Syria, escaping the Ottoman persecutions in 1912. Each one had gotten a job either working at the mills on Broad Street or working for the steel mills and whatever that were all active at the time, and couldn't speak English, so none of them could hold a job. So they started on Bleecker Street, and the wives would bake pita bread, and menfolk would run it up and down the street on a push cart, and that's how it all started. And they were able to get into a storefront and expanded, and you know, they had their ups and downs through the years. You know, it's such a satisfying experience, and chances are, if I wasn't doing this, I'd be 6 foot under by now.
For lunch, we head west on Burrstone Road to Richard's family's Sunday tradition, the Castlewood Cafe. And there's no doubt when everyone greets him by name.
Every Sunday morning after the show, I head here to Castlewood for breakfast. Have been doing it since they opened way back 4 years ago. They serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner here, but you don't have to rush down for breakfast because they serve it all day long, and you can have what I have, my favorite, the Eggs Benedict, with a side of their homemade pancakes. Don Wood of Castlewood has offered a special today. Come here, and with any entree, you'll be given a free dessert.
This week's road trip has come to the end of the line. Well, almost. We head back down French Road across from Chanatry's to K&K Train and Hobby.
Freight train runs through this town at 5:30.
Christmas is just around the corner. For me, Christmas back in the 1940s went kind of like this. My brother and I, we would set out a lunch for Santa Claus on the living room coffee table. And it would also include, always include, a bottle of Coke and a sandwich. We would then get up at midnight, not in the morning, but at midnight, and go into the living room. And between the time we went to bed and midnight, the tree had been put up by my mom and dad. And the most important thing, believe it or not, was not the presents at that point, but it was the railroad track that had been put in place by my mom and dad with my Lionel train. I would play with that until 2 or 3 in the morning, and of course be opening presents in the meantime. And right here in Utica, there is K&K Hobby, where you can find anything and everything to do with model trains.
What we can see. It's time for the Cooper Group's road trip. It's time.